Whoa. Did you see what just happened? I don't know if you heard the news, but it was breaking news across my Instagram feed. And I was like, oh, this is hitting a new level. The decline of America is hitting a level that we have never seen before. In fact, yesterday we were talking about, if you did not see our videos, first of all, if you keep coming back to this channel journey with us every single day, every other day, every week, I think you should hit the subscribe button. It won't hurt you, it won't kill you. It'll be great. It'll be fantastic, because then you're going to get notifications when we upload, especially if you hit the bell notification. Now, there's a currency or two in Africa that are nearly outperforming the US dollar. In fact, your US dollars in this country won't go as far, which is a good thing for the people of the country. Like, it's good for their economies to be strong, but it's bad for America, because that means that the dollar is weaker. And we already know, or you should know, that the Great Britain pound is stronger than the dollar. The Kuwait dinar is stronger than the dollar. Other Middle Eastern currencies and European currencies are stronger than the dollar. But what just happened? This is going to blow your mind, because the South African rand has just increased against the US dollar. It's never been below 16 rand to 1 US dollar. But guess what? We're hitting that tipping point today, and in this video, we're going to tell you why this marks a shift in the geopolitics and the economy.
Yeah, guys, make sure you like the video, but things are starting to be at an even playing field. This is what's really happening, and you guys are not going to know this unless you are in the financial market. You get what I'm saying? Unless you are doing this research, or unless you come to our channel and we show you this information and share this information with you. Look, if this doesn't show you things, because I know we just did a video about copper in Zambia and how the Zambian kwacha has increased to the US dollar, right? One of the best currencies in Africa in 2025, right? So just from a brother I was talking to, he said it's more expensive here. Our US dollar does not stretch like it was. Now, the same thing with South Africa. So it seems like, to me, things are starting to get back to that even playing field, and Africa is increasing. And my point is, you guys are not going to know this, especially if you have not lived in Africa. So just for example, for us, just say in 2020, when we first got to Tanzania, right? We found a 5-bedroom house, big old yard, swing set, tire swing. We had everything that we pretty much needed, right? And it was $400, right? But once people really started to come to Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, everything started to shoot up, because they're starting to say, okay, let me tell this person, this tourist person, or this person that never been to Africa, the price is $700, right?
Yeah, because the demand was there.
Yeah, the demand was there. So people, they're going to pay that, because $700 for a 5-bedroom with a big old yard and this and that and this and that, right? People are going to pay that. So this is what happens in Africa every time. Once people start to flood the market and go to these countries and these cities, right, in these regions, prices start to go up. And we will experience that. The people that is here in Africa, that is living in Africa, we will see that before you guys hear that. So I was hearing this in South Africa about, I want to say, close to 2 years ago.
I was about to say 2 years ago.
Because people were saying, like, or the South Africans was complaining, like, all the tourists is coming here, people are driving the prices up. And it's like, whoa, okay. So this is very interesting. Now this is breaking news. This is like letting you guys know, hey, Africa is starting to stand up and be their own.
They're starting to become a world contender, a true superpower, as they should, which means you need to have your stuff together as an American. You need to be an entrepreneur. You need to be investing, period. Point blank, I don't have no other way to tell you. That's what you need to be doing. You should listen to the Introvert Marketer podcast, because I was like, wow. In April, I will have been an entrepreneur for 10 years, helping my clients collectively generate over $31 million. And I podcast about it pretty frequently. And so you should just go ahead and listen to the Introvert Marketer podcast. But this happened for the first time since 2022. South Africa's rand has broken below rand $16 against the US dollar, which is more than a psychological trigger. This is a strategic threshold, a new area of fluctuation that has just been hit, which means maybe in the next year, it may be worth 10 rand to $1. And you in South Africa may be like, oh my goodness, it's basically like living in California or in LA, right? And this is not a headline about winning currencies. In fact, this is an interesting story about real assets, global demand, and what expats need to understand right now. Here's why this matters for you if you're an expat, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're someone that's not trying to be on the wrong side of history in World War III, because remember, we are also in World War III, so it's not exactly advantageous for you to be in the most pricey places in Africa, okay? Even wealthy people will tell you they don't spend a lot of money. They look like they don't have money because they like to keep their money in the bank. They like to keep their money in gold. They like their money to appreciate and not decline, because when you're declining, you're basically rotting, and you don't want your money to rot. Like, you want your money to be good in World War III. Because the world is becoming more chaotic. Now, South Africa's currency strength is emerging amid continued pressure on the US dollar from multiple angles, okay? Not just South Africa, but debt expansion, interest rate uncertainty, and a lack of confidence in long-term spending power. At the same time, South Africa benefits from its position as a resource-rich economy on the continent. The global system still depends on it. In fact, I mean, think about it. It's literally the S in BRICS. And so this is also telling you that technically the BRICS currencies are going to start performing a little bit better against the US dollar. And so you American expats and entrepreneurs, y'all gonna have to step up y'all game. Y'all gonna have to just, be about your business, be about your investments, because the world is not going to continue to favor the US dollar forever. It's gonna be a level playing field. It's gonna be an equal weight and equal balance. And guess what the Most High Yah thinks of that? He thinks it's fantastic, because in the Torah, it says unequal weights are an abomination to him. And so the field is leveling. It has no choice, because the crash and the fall of Western society is here. It's going to happen. It has to happen. And we're literally all living it right now.
Yeah, I was going to say just how he was breaking it down from it broke below the 16 threshold. So this is a new, my mind is an investor trader mind, right? So if you're looking at a chart, or if I'm looking at a chart, it broke below a floor where it will come down here to the floor and bounce back up, So now it broke below this floor, and now it has plenty of room to continue to fall.
Oh,
like she was saying, to $10. So that means that the US dollar is it's getting weak, y'all. It's really getting weak. So if you come here to Africa, I know a lot of people come here and think that they can bring their change, right? They can bring 25 cents and 10 cents and stuff like that. Not no more. No, I mean, before you can't even do it, right? So it's literally, you're gonna have to bring $100 bills. You get what I'm saying? So it's literally, it's breaking below this floor, and it needs to create a new floor. And we just don't know where that is. We just don't know where that is. So that floor that just been broke, now it's a ceiling. So once it try to go back up, it's probably just gonna hit that previous floor, which is now a ceiling, to continue to bounce off that. So this is very, very interesting news. This is like, things are shifting, things are changing super fast. And if you are not trying to prepare for this, I don't know what to tell you. If you are thinking about moving to the continent and traveling to the continent, just know it's not the same as 6 years ago.
2019.
It's not cheap. it's going to be more expensive. You're going to be surprised, especially the comfort that you need.
You want, right.
As like a freshly American to come over here to the continent.
Yeah.
You're like, if you want the local price, you're gonna get the
local experience.
Exactly. But if you want a comfortable, familiar feeling or experience, you're gonna pay some money.
Yeah.
And that's what people have to understand. Like, you might as well do that when
until
you first
you
come.
Get used to it, just your first 2 weeks.
Exactly. You can't
splurge. We do that wherever we
exactly.
go.
You can't do that. Like, for us, we can do that because we experienced it, and we know how to choose a place where the environment around, it might not be the best hotel or something, but what's around the hotel is going to benefit us and have that experience of the local way. So it's certain things that you have to go through before, I'm telling you, before you get to that point. Because freshly coming over here, nah, I don't think somebody that never been to the continent to come over here and have the local way. I mean, you can, but you gotta have.
Do that. You
gotta have that mindset.
When we were in Tanzania, we booked out a hotel, the family suite, the nicest suite they had for 2 weeks, $1,800. Now locals will be like, "Why would you pay that for 2 weeks?" Because we desired to. The end, and that's why we paid that. But listen, South Africa is not an isolated case. We were talking about Zambia yesterday, but let's break this down a little further. Because Zambia is resource rich, just like everywhere on the continent, and they have copper. Now you may be like, Tiffy G, what is copper for? Why would that be useful? Well, it's the third most resourceful metal that you can find out here right now, next to gold and silver. Then you have copper. Now people will use copper for technology, for batteries, for EV electricity things, for all the things.
For wires. Think about it. It
wires.
Goes into any and everything
all over the
that
world.
You just don't think about.
And they may, Zambia may ship that out to China because Zambia and China have fantastic relations. And so what this did was increase Zambia's currency performance against the US dollar. Yes, just because they have copper. This is such a good lesson. And when you provide value to the market, people will pay top dollar, period. If you have a gold, a silver, a copper value in your business, the nations will pay top dollar. It doesn't even have to be America. Who cares if America's not buying Zambia's copper? Because guess what? You have China, you have Thailand, you have Taiwan, you have India, you have South Africa, you have Egypt, you have Dubai, you have the United Arab Emirates, you have Saudi Arabia, and everybody is willing to pay top dollar. So understand, for those of us that are already expats, the opportunity is global, quite literally. And for those in Africa who are local, your opportunities are global. You don't have to depend on America and depend on Great Britain and depend on France. Those days are over. And listen, Zambia is one of the world's largest copper producers. And copper is no longer just that industrial metal it was in old days. Like I said, electric vehicles, renewable energy, infrastructure, upgrades, and AI data centers. Somebody say Zambia's currency is about to increase. Does anybody know how many AI data centers they are building and needing around the world? Wow, Zambia is going to be the spot. Zambia is going to be a new tech hub, digital frontier, and their currency is going to perform better. And it's going to be a great time for the Zambians. Now, when a country exports something that is so valuable as copper, that's not something discretionary. It gains extreme leverage. Zambia's currency performance reflects this reality. Copper revenues will strengthen and stabilize fiscal outlooks and reduce dependency on external borrowing. Wow, I just want to thank the Most High for that. Because, the nations have tried to put so much debt onto these African countries. But when you just dig in your backyard and it's like, oh, 1 billion tons of copper, 1 billion tons of diamonds, 1 billion tons of gold, it's like, whoa, debt's gone. We're good to go. That is the time that we are in. You need to understand that. Leave a comment down below if you understand that. But if you don't understand it, also leave a comment and leave your questions, because we will take the time to answer them so that you can understand how the Most High is moving for his people in these days. Because you can't tell me that's not the Most High releasing the burden that Africa used to be under so that now they can rise.
Yeah. And one question that popped in my head when you was reading that was, I know we're going to get this question. I know this is going to be a main question. How, like, if I'm bringing my US dollar there to Zambia, it's going to be weaker. But they're building AI data centers. They're building so much. How do I take advantage of that? Can I go and get a job? I love that. Right?
That's a great question.
That's where it comes down to what we've been saying for 6 years. You have to be an entrepreneur. You got to find your purpose. You got to find a skill set. You got to know your talent, because these are the perfect situations where you can go into and become a main investor, or you can become someone that has that skill set that will be able to benefit from what's happening right now on the continent without being a local African. Because of course the local they're going to hire the local African first. But if you have that skill set and the training and the experience, that's where you can take advantage of it. Because I know a lot of people are going to be like, wow, this is a great opportunity. Either you're going to be a big investor, or you're going to have that experience and skill set to set you apart. And you got to realize that you are set apart, but you gotta step into it. You got to step into it.
Yeah, and this is defeating that idea that Africa's currencies will always be unstable. Mm-hmm. They're not going to be unstable. And the expats that have been here for years, they're already going to have the network, the connections, the business links, or the expats who are already entrepreneurs. They know how to get into a marketplace in various countries without having to step into those countries. They're signing clients in Australia, talking to clients in Dubai. This isn't a nice to have skill. Marketing your business is not a nice to have. This is life or death. This is, if you don't guarantee your self-reliance in your business this year, this Great Depression that we're going through is going to be crazy for you, like it was for the people that were not prepared in the 1930s. And that may be hard to hear, but I'd rather tell you now versus you learning this hardship 2-3 years down the line, where today you can make a cognizant decision to say, let me listen to more business podcasts. Let me listen to more marketing podcasts. Let me purchase gold without being too fearful.
Let me learn that skill set of investing, of trading, of like learning how to have your money work for itself. That's the name of the game. It's not time to, it's really time to do that. It's really time to learn. It's really time to have that purpose that you are going to be something. You are going to strive in this depression and what's going on right now in the world. So guys, look.
You got to, if you haven't done it yet, buy gold. Don't say I don't know how. I tell our children all the time, don't come to me and say you don't know how. Figure it out ASAP. Figure it out. Do it. Figure out a way to do it. We have Google. You have AI. You got everything. I think you can do it.
And if you need help, this Sunday I am hosting how to do that. So every Sunday I'm going to go live as the market open, 8 p.m. EST, for you guys that need that how to, for you guys that need that hand. You get what I'm saying? It's time to really come together. So you guys that's listening, that how do I buy gold? How do I invest in the market? Take advantage of it this Sunday. Check the links in the description. So
that's lit. That's amazing, because
you're
gonna want to buy some gold. I'm gonna just keep saying it. You're gonna want to buy some silver. Your dollar is soon going to be worth very, very little. And if you make US dollar, you can still hedge and protect your resources by converting that US dollar to gold, by converting that US dollar to silver, to copper, to something that's actually worth something in world war, because countries are going to go back to gold currencies. Countries are going to go back to trading resources, and this is where Africa is going to lead the world. That's just what it is. Africa was the origin and will be the end as well. Africa is where it all started and is going to be where it all ends. So you might as well just get in line and get in the right position.
Yes. Look, preparation is key. So hope you guys enjoyed this information. Make sure you like the video, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And we will talk to you in the next one. Shalom.
Shalom.